Hello YouTube, Fuzzfinger here, and today we're going to be continuing on with our Final Fantasy IV playthrough, where we are going to be leaving the moon in a moment, and returning back down to Earth to fight a battle of literally gigantic proportions. So do come and join me, and let me know in the comment section if you enjoyed today's episode. If it helps you, you know I always appreciate the support from my fans, and let's get on with today's show. So we had a fun time in the last episode, going through quite a tricky dungeon actually, didn't we, in order to recruit our latest Eidolon in the form of Bahamut. But we've done that now, so we're ready to return back down to the earthly surfaces. And to do that, we're just going to go ahead and speak with the crystal here. I keep saying speak with, it's not really a conversational crystal, is it? It's more just interacting with it. And look at that, we're floating off. Wow, science. So the lunar whale doesn't seem to be having the greatest or smoothest of journeys back at the Earth here. And there's something going on at the Tower of Babil. The Giant of Babil has a certain weapon appearance to him, doesn't he? Anyhow, he's come out of the tower here and seems to be just wreaking havoc all over the place. And look who it is. It's Palom and Podom, seemingly cured of the stone status they were afflicted with earlier on in the game. So it looks like our trusty Sid is going to do the honours of getting us into position here. And we've actually accessed the giant, and as you can see, it's a mechanical beast, which means that we need to go ahead and prepare for enemy encounters of that nature. And all we really need to do is equip Rydia with the Blitz Whip, which he actually already has, since that has the Thunder element attached to it. And also Thunder Spells are going to do us good here. There's going to be a few new enemy encounters in this place as well. But it's important that we actually find them all, because if we want to complete our bestiary, it should be noted that this is the only time we can actually come to this dungeon. And once we've completed the dungeon, we can't return to it in the future. So this is a Searcher, which is the first of several new enemy encounters. And these are going to summon a different creature every time you hit them when there's no creatures on the board. So it's important that we take them out. As with other summon creatures, the creatures that they summon won't be added to your bestiary, so just bear that in mind as you take them out here. One little tactic actually, which I probably should have mentioned, is that you can actually cast stop on those Searchers, and that will prevent them from taking any action, including summoning another enemy, and also including stopping them from counter-attacking with that beam attack that you witnessed. However, the enemies in this place are substantially easier than in the previous dungeon that we went through. So whatever way you decide to take care of the enemies here, you shouldn't have as big a trouble in doing so. Anyhow, this first part of the dungeon is really just the entrance, so we can just make our way down to this next mechanical teleporter, I guess. And this will take us into the neck area. And we can just map this out, it's a short area. And that'll give us 3 X potions, which, let's be honest, isn't too shabby at all. Oh, and of course another enemy encounter. You can use Ramu as well if you want to AoE a bunch of these targets down a little bit more quickly. Should we give that a go? So pretty much all the enemies in this place, as you can gather, are weak to the Thunder element, which is nice and helpful. Wow, that was a pretty mean attack, wasn't it? We'll have to do something about that. I think it's good night to Cecil, unfortunately. So, I don't think I spoke too soon when I said this dungeon is easier. It is easier than the last one, but that doesn't mean you should be careless. Make sure you keep your party healed up. Oh, I just got an achievement, the Platinum Hunter. I don't know if that comes through on the video there, but I certainly saw it. Okay, so now this is the chest area, so it's the first real floor, I guess, where we have to actually explore. The path is quite linear though, and if we just make our way around, we can see there's a chest we can open. This contains a Fuma Shuriken. And then the path will continue to just loop around here. And this is the final set of enemy encounters that we haven't yet experienced. But we can just take them out the same way as the other battles. You know, I was thinking, in terms of just general difficulty, Final Fantasy IV is actually quite a tough game, at least in comparison to some of the other Final Fantasies that we've played in the past. In this next chest, there's a high potion. And then it's just a case of continuing to follow the path. Once again, another chest. Oh, the excitement. This one contains an ether. And then we're going to keep following the path once more. This time we're going to have to head north. And there should be another chest, I believe, around here. Yes, there is. That's got some arrows in it for us. And then we can just head west. And we'll just want to complete the map. But there's also another chest we can grab. So we'll pick that up now. And then we can just make our way to the exit. That contains the siren. And we'll also complete the map as we go. I think we get some remedies. Yeah, remedies for completing this particular floor. And another enemy encounter for our trouble, of course. Just try and get that Rumu off. I'll tell you what, that beam attack is actually really deadly. So I'm just going to try and defend if we can. And I guess we can try and cure rather than do nothing. Cecil here. Although it is a tough enemy, that is, the one at the back that fires those beams, especially if you get two of them. We can actually skip that animation, by the way. I'm sure I've told you that before. Looks like it could be good night to Cecil here. Fortunately, his defence might have just helped him out. I don't normally show you these encounters, but I'm trying to show you that it is possible to keep this guy alive. There you go, look. Although he's still going to need healing afterwards, of course. But hey, this is another floor done now. So it's time to move on. So this floor is a little less complicated. We're going to start by running around the initial area here, making sure that everything is sorted. And then we're going to go through this central path here. This should lead us to a chest. So we get a silver apple in the chest in this area. And then of course we just need to make our way over to this next path, which is on the far eastern side. We're going to come back to the one in the middle in a moment. Just want to grab this chest first. We get a soma drop in there, and then it's really just a case of following the final path through to the end, where there'll be another mechanical teleport waiting for us. And no doubt some enemy encounters along the way. Right then, so we want to cast stop on these. I'm going to show you the technique that I was talking about a little bit earlier on. And then we can go ahead and just use auto battle. And they shouldn't do anything, these searcher creatures, at this point. No counter attacks, no enemy spawns. Just a very simple defeat. Down it goes. We get a dry ether for completing the stomach area, and the teleporter will take us to the next level. Just bear with us, going to send a quick text message. Okay, so there's going to be a couple of new enemy encounters in this in this floor. One is a new dragon, a mechanical dragon known as the Clockwork Dragon, and we can actually cast stop on that to make the whole battle go quite quickly. But there's the other enemy called the Armor Construct, and we just need to hit those with as much thunder as possible and keep our party healed. So make sure we've got auto battle switched off at this point, and we want to get stop going as quickly as possible on these things before we just get absolutely obliterated by the surprise that they've caught us with here. As you can see, that wasn't particularly pleasant. So we need to try and get some healing going on here. Along with some Curagars, I think, if we can get those off. Probably not, but you never know. Looks like we could be in a bit of trouble. Okay, try not to get surprised on those, because now we've just got a game over. Wonderful. It's fortunate the continue button actually just left us right where we started. Hey, look who it is. Anyway, grab the elixir from there. And then continue to make your way around. So we'll continue on around and we find a lovely save point. So we'll go ahead and save. And you might want to fight an armor construct at this point. An easy way to do that, if you haven't fought one because they can be quite rare, is to just use a siren item. So we'll just go up the menu. Where's the good old siren? Probably should have searched it from the other way around, but not to worry. There it is. And the trick is with this, is we want to obviously keep everyone alive. So we'll go ahead and use Curagar, or Curajar. And then we'll just attack with Edge, and with Vidya we can use either Ramu or Thundergar. And then Misesa will just attack as well. And I'm not sure if Shell works on this guy, but we'll go ahead and use it anyway. And his attacks aren't terribly hard, he just has a fair bit of health you have to make your way through, unfortunately. But Thundergar should be able to give a good go at that. As you can see, kind of counters magic as well, but that's fine. Or pretty much everything, but he's got to go down. So just keep everyone healed. Probably could do with putting Protect on as well because of those pretty nasty counter attacks. But I'm hoping he's going to go down and fall pretty soon. At least that is the plan. Let's go for Protect just in case, shall we? And before we actually cast... with... yeah, that's what I was going to say. Let's get a Cure off first. And I guess we're done. So I do just need to go ahead and fight those dragons before we continue on. So that fella that looks like Naming Way actually isn't Naming Way. I've just fought those dragons again, by the way, to add them to our bestiary. But he does sell items if you want to purchase any healing stuff or whatever else he might sell, which isn't that exciting, but you can go ahead and check that out. We're actually going to take off Rydia's Black Magic for the time being command and replace it with MP 50%, which is actually going to be more useful in an upcoming battle. And we're also going to go ahead and use a cottage. Get our party back up to snuff here. And then we'll go ahead and save our game. And I'll tell you what, guys, I'm going to finish off here because the next boss battle is actually quite a long one, so it'd be a good idea to keep it in its own episode. So just make sure you're healed up, and then we'll move on again next time. So thanks for joining me, folks. I hope you've enjoyed this episode of Final Fantasy IV. If you have, don't forget to hit the like button and be subscribed to my gaming channel, and we'll come back soon for more. Take care, folks. See you then.